All right, I'm on. I was walking around over there looking at we were working the other day. We were working earlier today on the turbo flange, and then I left to go do something else, and Kim worked on it some more. I was just over there looking at it to see, and my phone's beeping. I leave my phone ringer on while she's out, so she called and she is on her way. Oh, my phone's telling me it's raining out. Yeah, I know it's raining out. How would I know without the phone? Hey, Mark Sauvé, Daniel Morrissey, Mexican Spec. Who else is here? That answered your question, yeah. Um, I'm going to leave this ringer on at least until Kim gets here. Uh, so I don't know what I'm doing here early. I was just over there looking at stuff. Uh, I think it was a service for a friend that passed away. That's not much of a party, but I guess they had something that went for several hours, come and go, I guess. So Stray Bullet, how you doing? Yeah, yeah, I'm waiting for Kim. Hopefully she's be here. I don't know. She told me 12 minutes, and that was I don't know some minutes ago. Of course, 12 minutes is there's red lights and there's green lights and there's traffic and there's not much traffic. So, but she's on the this end of the town, so she's not too far away. But it's raining harder out there. I can hear it. That's good because the grass is starting to grow because it's warming up, but it's really dry. When I mowed over it, it's just making dry shreds all over the place, pretty bad. And so we get rain tonight. Tomorrow, that rain or the rain will really help the grass be green. But if we can do a cut on you before she, man, is there a way to do that? Is there like a remote haircut? Man, she cut my hair not long ago, but I'm noticing I'm actually it's starting to get a little thin here and here. It grows fast, man. Like 3 weeks, I'm looking really shaggy, and I start looking like a wolf. Yeah, can you guide him where to cut? I've done my own haircuts. They don't always work real well. What I do there is you know is I just cut all around the sides and everything and shave the back of my neck, and then and put a hat on. Live stream cutting the grass. I did a video one time cutting the grass. I think didn't I do one? A short, just out there driving along, turn, come back and mow another strip and turn. Flowbee. Can't remember those things. I always have a hat on. Hair needs to breathe. Well, see, but you don't always see me. When I'm in the house by myself, I don't have a hat on. If I go outside, I have a hat on because I don't like the sun shining right, on it'll hit right on the edge of my glasses and drive me nuts. So, but in the house, I almost never wear a hat unless I'm on a live. It's healthy to let it breathe. Yeah. I don't know when I'm out. The whole Air Force thing got me into the hat. When I go outside, I put a hat on because that's how I was in the Air Force. And then I don't know on the live shows, I like to wear the hat. And in the shop, I wear a hat a lot because it keeps the stuff out of the air. Car by Jones. Good evening. Yeah, Kim's on her way here, not here yet, but she will be here. One day we'll give you an awesome haircut. Yeah, I want to come out there. I just don't like. I don't want to fly. I want to drive. Man, I want to drive out there, and it's a pretty long drive. And I used to do that stuff all the time, and now I don't know. I spent a lifetime on the road doing, working all over the place, and I've been home for a couple of years. It's really been nice being home. Uh, that's just something I didn't have for most of my life. Home was a place that I got to 3 or 4 times a year, 5 times a year for a day or two. And man, just being here all the time, that's a pretty good deal. And D-Man's here. Good evening. I saw you come in earlier, I guess, but that was before I went live. So I forgot to say hi. So sorry about that. Stray Bullet never wears a hat anymore. I wouldn't wear a hat that looks like that. Mark Sylvain, I'm sure welding spatter slag doesn't feel very good on the scalp either. Yeah, but that's why you wear a hood, a full hood. Slimo, happy Easter, everyone. It's Good Friday in Australia. Wow, it's Good Friday already down there. Had an excellent farm jam. What is a farm jam? What does that term mean? Is that like a party or something? Mexican Spec says, I have a UTG hat. 2, actually. I have 1 UTG hat, and I got such a fat head, I'm out to the very last end of the thing, and it's still tight, so I don't wear it. I got this hat, and I think I got this one online. There's another one, that one from Algodones. I really like that one, and I got that one right on the border from a Mexican guy down there on the American side. And he sells all these hats. I said, can I try it on? I tried it on. I said, man, it fits my head. He goes, I got a fat head too. And he goes, if it doesn't fit my head, I don't sell them. So I bought several hats from him over the years. Same guy. Yeah, and gas is too expensive to travel. Yeah, gas went up here. It was cheap here. It was cheaper. It was down to like $2.24, something like that. Now it's up. It's over $3.60. It's gone up. It's gone up $1.50. So I don't know what it's. I know out there it's worse. I'm sure. Slimo, good evening. D-Man says I'm sitting back and relaxing. It's good. Barry Cuda says I like the caps that are half mesh, cooler in the summer. I'm not the ones I liked out there in Arizona are these things. They're not, and I pour water in here and let it soak real good. Put it on my head, and it take about 6-7 minutes for it to evaporate out, and then I pour water in there again, and that worked really well. But that's pretty extreme heat, and it's really dry. So it like in Arizona, 10% humidity, hat will dry out real fast and really keep your head cool. But here, it's not as humid here as it is like in Ohio. It's pretty darn humid up there. Stray Bullet, I should wear a hard hat because I hit my head a lot. I had a job for a couple of years where I had to wear a hard hat, and bumped it a couple of times. Cold, windy, rainy here in South New Hampshire. South New Hampshire. Are you close to Amesbury, Amesbury, Massachusetts? I got a friend that lives in Amesbury, and I know we walked into New Hampshire a couple of times. That's why I asked when I've been there. I have to take a loan. What's he talking about? Mexican Spec says, I should have sent you a Mazatlan hat with the license plates. Oh, yeah, license plates. I got those in my bedroom. I got, I thought in this shop I'd have room to hang license plates all over the walls, but I got so much crap. And then Kim built all these shelves. It's really good having the shelves, but there's no place to put license plate. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. D-Man says gas is $3.70 a gallon South New Hampshire. Okay, yeah, that's about what we're at. I think we're just under that, probably like 369, 368, something like that. I think it was. I don't know. I said what it was on a video a day ago or something. Maybe I didn't put that video up yet. Stray bullet, $6 in Northern California. Man. Mexican Spec says, very good. I know you like my wife more, which is why you specified Mexican man. We have been over $5 US per gallon for a long time now, says Mexican Spec. Man, Mexico always used to be cheap gas. Man, they really screwed that up, didn't they? And I hear Kim coming in. You can see her. Oh, you got something in your mouth.
I made a sandwich. I'm hungry.
Oh, well, I ate earlier. I told everybody in 390 Wagon Master you dance for well, he got a super chat, and he has a belly rings for super chats.
Belly rings?
A bell, ding, 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 a bell, he rings. And he didn't have it there. He goes, what do I do for super
Sound like
chat?
you said belly ring.
So I typed in, I said, well, Kim dances on our channel for super chats. And I said, will you dance? He's kind of a big guy, you know. He goes, no, I will not dance.
I will not dance.
So I forgot that. I knew I'd forget that.
I mean, you would have known at some point.
Okay, so let's see. Heavy metal musicians show up on my farm because of no noise complaints. That's a good thing about being out in the country. The bad thing about here is there's a few places that are a little closer, but D-Man, Amesbury is about 30 minutes south on Route 495 going east. Yeah, I've spent time in Amesbury a couple of times. Got a very good friend there. Bought it at the border buff. They get it from U.S. and it's much cheaper up there.
Daniel Morrissey said it was $6-something, almost $7 at the Costco in California. Oh man, that's just gouging. Inspector Bruce is here.
Pinejo or
hi everybody.
I know that's the wrong pronunciation. Pinejo. Oh, that's a joke nobody will like.
Mm-hmm.
Braden's here.
I'm eating a sandwich that has bread.
A bread sandwich?
It has sharp cheddar turkey, another piece of sharp cheddar, another piece of sharp cheddar, some pepperonis, and some more turkey. I was hungry. Loaded it up.
Still like remember when Mexican diesel was like 60 cents. I remember when Mexican fuel was cheap. They've ruined that. Inspector Bruce, yeah, he said hi, but I'll say hi. Braden retracting something. Ford rules. Danny Morrissey, 679.9 at Costco. Oh, at Costco. Okay. Oh, and you're answering about what you're eating.
Oh, Faith and Brady are live. Stop over there. Click on the like button. See what they're up to. You can come back.
Daniel says, I found red diesel today for $4.50. Yeah, as long as you probably won't get caught. You know what that is? Red diesel. It's got a dye in it. It means it's meant to be used like on
off-road only.
Yeah, off-road only. And
the problem once you get red dye in there, it's
good luck getting it out.
Yeah, but if you're off-road anyways, yeah, how about it? Tractors and whatnot.
SoCal diesel is $8. It's over $8 a gallon.
How is it not gouging? What are they doing to the gas to make it so much more expensive than everywhere else? Home heating oil is red. Well, no one tests home heating oil either.
Home heating oil is what had happened with me is I'd run out of home heating oil in Ohio, and the only thing I could get was, so I was doing it the other way. I was putting diesel in there because it's the only thing I could buy, and I'd buy just enough to get me by till I could get out there with the home heating oil again, And so I'd pay too much for it. Ended up paying road tax on the heating my shop. And then I put in I built one of those 55-gallon drum 55-gallon drum, what do you call it?
Why are they shutting down their refineries?
Oh, yeah, because California did political bullshit.
What is wrong with them?
Oh, I know what's wrong with them. Everybody says that. What's wrong with them?
Our stupid government has run all their... What is it? It's insanity. Why would you do that to yourself? Do they just like pain? What do you... They're going to run all the business out. For what? For what purpose? What insane person is doing this?
When I left California, I figured out it was easy to be in business everywhere else. And
greed. How is that greed?
It's just horrible.
If you run all the business out and all the money's gone,
so it
doesn't make any sense. We're going to ruin their economy. How does that get?
Just don't be in California. If you're in California, you got to love it and put up with it, I guess. Are you going to use Sunoco in the U?
Absolutely.
Why would I do that?
Do we have a Sunoco?
I don't think there's any Sunoco here.
We might. I don't know. Why? Does that mean you...
Well, the Sunoco used to have... there were two good fuels, Sunoco, whatever they called it, and Chevron White Pump. And they were both like 104 octane or something, but that was a long, long time ago. I think Sunoco is just like everybody else's stuff now.
Regulated all the refineries and many other businesses out of the state. Yeah, that's what I keep hearing.
That's what happened to me. When I found out I could be in business somewhere else and not have to put up with all that crap, it's like, God, see, when you grow up in California, you just think it's like that everywhere. But it's not. It's just not like that everywhere. Like the first time when I went in business in Ohio, which is the first place I went business that was not California, I went to get a business license. They said, what's a business license? They didn't even know what it was. I did have to get registered with the state to collect sales tax. And the guy, if I had a sign, I had to have a permit for the sign. I thought, oh, here we go. Here comes the mess, because in California that was a big mess. So the guy came out and looked, and he goes, okay, where's the sign? I had it, and he looked at it, and he says, take this tape measure out in the middle of the highway. And I had to go out in the middle of the highway, wait till no cars, and then put the tape measure down on the center line. He measured from the center line to the sign, and he goes, oh, that's good. It's within the limits. He hand wrote me a sign permit and handed it to me. It was like $15 forever. I only had to get it once. In California, it was like it took an act of God to get the stupid sign permit, and then it's horrible, just horrible. And then there's like a sign committee of 9 people, and they all has to be a unanimous decision. They all have, and there's no rules. It's whether they like it. One person on that committee doesn't like it. Nope, start over. What's wrong? They won't tell you. Just start again.
That's horrific.
It's horrible.
In Pittsburgh, I learned that there was a site permitting, but there was rules, and then you paid every year, and it was based on the square footage of signage. So if you wanted a giant sign, then you just paid for it. But if you wanted a reasonably priced sign, you thought about how can I get my message up there with the least square footage. And that's like about, visual pollution. You understand, like, they don't want everybody to put big gaudy signs up. Like, make it, you can have a sign, but,
well, some
be reasonable with it.
some places have a sign ordinance. That's okay. You just conform to the sign ordinance.
Yeah.
But like where I live, there was a sign ordinance, but after you conform to that, then 9 people had to like it, which is.
Todd Saw's mad because we didn't answer his first question.
I'm sorry.
He says, y'all ever going to work on the Del Camino again? Nope. Nope.
Actually, I was working on it the last couple of days.
It's raining tonight. So tonight is an excellent time to work in the shop. The weather has been exemplary this past week. I mean, just so nice. I went out and sunbathed topless because it was so nice.
What?
Well, you don't want tan lines around my boobs. That's weird.
I didn't know about this.
I was out there laying on it, getting all sun. It was wonderful, and I worked. You guys saw. I put out videos. We got firewood. I worked on the Bronco 2. I worked on the mini skid loader, cleaning up the pool area. He was cutting vines off the house and getting things fixing the shutters or fixing and get rid of the shutters. We're doing all kind of stuff around here, mowing the whole thing. We ain't got time to be playing with the winter project.
Daniel Orsi in California Week. Hey, don't do the ass for everything. But it's super beautiful to live here. So I don't know, it's not so bad here. And in fact, it's pretty nice here sometimes. But California, I lived in California in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. It didn't cost any more there than anywhere else. But I don't know.
But we ain't got swimming pools and movie stars.
Well, yeah, I guess.
But you got to be a millionaire to live out there.
He's 500-600 miles from that stuff.
So.
Yeah, we were working on that today.
Today we were working on the turbo manifold, though. Turbodium. Right? So we got some stuff moved. And I got evidence. Happening.
If you have a body shop in California, it's easier to go to Nevada to buy supplies than in the state. And I knew a guy that it was a company, but he was the one that ran the company. So they made torches. And you know what they did? They moved to Nevada because it was cheaper, easier, everything to make the torches in California. And after a while, they wouldn't even sell them to people in California because they didn't want to deal with it. So they sold worldwide, except California. Bunker oil. Yeah, that's some nasty stuff.
I did get a
lot of BTUs, though.
I got a little bit of sunburn on my inner thighs. Boy, were they pale. But I'm okay. How far are we from Talladega?
Oh, where does it say that?
Todd Saul was asking.
Oh, I don't see it. I don't see it. Okay. I just don't see everything. Do you use driven oil in the Bronco? What's driven oil?
Driven oil. I'm not sure.
Oh, it's right before the question about Talladega. Talladega is, it's a pretty good stretch from here.
D-Man wants to run his car on high karate. The exhaust will smell good, but you got to have alcohol jets in your carburetor.
You know what? Since California wasn't ruined until the 90s. You know what? I left there in 91. And I noticed pretty quickly that there were... The first time I walked in a gun shop, I was like, whoa! Look at all they got all the good stuff here. That was the first big, whoa.
Stray Bullet doesn't like that you can't buy oil-based paint anymore. Yeah, that's a big restriction in a lot of places.
Too many politicians that want to be in the history books. Yeah. Yeah, Mexican Spec left in 89. Wow, and I left in 91. I left, I know when it was. It was the weekend before. It was in May. It was in May of 91 when I left permanently. I had been in Arizona. I bought a piece of property in Arizona, and I was back and forth, finally, heck with this. And a guy in Arizona hired me but he wanted me to go work at his Ohio plant first. So I went there, and he never did send me to Arizona. So I worked 15 years for a guy in Ohio while I had a house in Arizona. He kept promising me I was going to go to Arizona, and I kept not going.
Todd Saw is considering a trip to Talladega for Friday and Saturday. Woo! Late models at the short track and Sunday NASCAR at the super speedway. Well, that does sound like fun. But
well, I can.
We have plans the next couple of weekends, so we're not going to be able to go anywhere like that.
You can.
Wait, you're going to look up where Talladega, how far Talladega is?
I got some kind of idea, to see where it is.
I mean, we're not going to be able to go. April 24th.
No, we got our hands full the next few weeks. Yeah. But I just want to see just exactly.
Well, that's April, end of April.
I'm just curious where it is. We're not going to go to Talladega. We got so much to do.
Yeah. He's looking to see how far it is. Put our location.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay. Oh, there it is. You click on Clarksville Fastener. Hi, Olive. Welcome in.
Well, it's
4.5 hours.
Yeah, it's 4.5 hours from Clarksville.
Oh, it's straight south of. Oh no.
No, it's over that way a little bit.
Talladega National Forest. That sounds nice. So this weekend, obviously, is a holiday. We have stuff with family. And then next weekend, we were really hoping, we're trying to, I'm trying to make it happen, that we go down and hang out with Dallas Brown and Shane Polito. Do you still think that's a no, or what do you think? I think that'd be cool.
Now, Buff, can you send me down to Tucson and I'll get the job done? I'm in Tucson to get the job done. Not sure what he's talking about. I was in, I lived in Phoenix for a while, and I lived in Yuma for a long time. Well, I was living here. I had this place, and I was working in Yuma enough that I had a place there, back and forth. Had a 87 Corvette. Old worn-out Corvette that I drive back and forth. And then I had a Ford van I drove back and forth.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was reading Mexican Spec's comment. He says, for the record, guys and gals, we are moving our Saturday Live, not ours. Mexican Spec is moving their Saturday Live 2 hours later to 4 p.m. Pacific time in hopes that it'll be easier for you guys to join us.
Yeah, it will be for me.
Look for that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because I got to take a break in the middle of the afternoon. And Barrows is here. Good evening.
Todd would like to meet up. That sounds cool, but I don't know. 4.5 hours is not even remotely close. It's not like in the neighborhood. But I mean, I don't know if you're up for a long drive. Bear Rose is here. You said that already. Mr. Burlock is here. So the guy that shut down Fontana California Raceway bought the Famosa.
That's a drag strip.
It's a different drag strip.
That's a drag strip.
So he's probably gonna build houses or something. I don't know what they do. They tear down all the fun stuff and build houses, so people can sit in their house.
Fran was telling me something that was like a song that I didn't understand what it was. So of course it went right over my head.
Braden says, I'm thinking of staying and moving in, like me and my girl had talked about it, because a lot of stuff happened. No, I don't think I get everybody. Whoa. It's working out really well. Okay, good to hear. Traveling is expensive with gas as it is right now. Yeah. A 4-hour drive is going to cost you some money. Us just going down for a day trip. What did we figure it out? It's like 2.5 hours, 90 miles or something like that down there to Dallas's place.
Yeah, it's over 100 miles.
I mean, we're going to spend a couple bucks on gas, and you got to get road snacks and something. We have to take something to eat because we're not going to go down there and eat his food. So we take something to eat.
If you want to repaint a house that was painted with oil-based paint, and you want to use water-based acrylic, you must undercoat it with oil-based primer first, otherwise the acrylic will flake off.
Right off.
What about not acrylic, but what's that other stuff?
I don't know, but you have to use, if you're painting over old oil paint, you have to use the right kind of primer base or else it won't stick. That's absolutely. You can't just.
What is the stuff that I use? That you normally use on a house now. It's not acrylic.
Latex?
Latex, yeah, latex.
All of it. You can't paint that over top of oil paint, so you have to have the right kind of primer. Yep.
Finale. I'd like to paint my stucco home with Emron, but California says no. Emron? Yeah, that shouldn't cost too much. Catalyzed paint.
Daniel Morrissey says have a cooler with ice and make food and snacks to take with you. Yeah,
we'd have to take.
It's a good bit of driving, and we'll almost certainly be coming home in the dark, which is a start, but we can do it.
Probably take my car.
If they have the space. We don't want to be a burden, and we don't really have a lot of expectations that we need to. But like if we're there and I'm holding the camera while they're working, then I can help them with their channel, and we could have some fun. Fun.
Yours is ringing. I'm going to turn mine off. Hey, Steve Edwards here. You know, I was going to bring that radio and that microphone down here tonight, and I forgot. God. We got a power supply down here. Kim and I are both screwing around with our phones. She took a call outside, and I'm shutting my ringer off because I don't want mine ringing. But while she was out in the car, I wanted my ringer on. Strabo, it cost me just about 60 cents per mile to drive my truck now. Well, hopefully they get this mess straightened out. Guess we're all hoping that. I think it might take longer than what they think. Have a Budweiser, have a Busch, have a Bud Light, Keystone, Lab Ultra.
Look, sorry everybody for the interruption. She called earlier and I didn't call when I was driving.
Oh, I see. Well, you had a lot of stuff to do today.
It got busy today. We were working.
It got busy for me too. Right in the middle of doing everything, there was other things happening, and then we're trying to video. There goes sirens and sirens and sirens.
Oh,
it's like
with the sirens.
It's like, really?
Oh, the sirens.
Put a car up on my old house, had lead paint. Cost a lot to have it removed.
Oh, that's lovely. Lead paint. Really? Where were you living that you had lead paint? I guess
anything older than probably about 1965.
Yeah.
70. Arrows. When I had my painting business, I always primed, usually with Kills.
Yeah.
Actually saves you a lot of money because you use less of the more expensive top coat.
Right, it seals things up.
Did you ever use stuff called Zinsser Bin?
Yeah, that's the same as Kills.
Because I've used them both, and I was just curious about that. Well, the thing about Zinsser Bin is I forget what the base is, but I know you thin it with alcohol. I really liked that stuff, and the adhesion was really good.
You mean that stuff that is
it's a shellac.
Shellac-based primer.
It's a shellac-based primer.
Yeah, that stuff's hard to use because it dries so freaking quick. Like you can only do like if you have patches, like stains or patches that you need to. That stuff works great, but it's expensive and it dries so fast that it'll dry in the pan while you're trying to use it. So.
Tavo's here. whatever I missed. Maybe I don't want to know. Oh, they're talking about trying to put gas in their cars. Well, see, that's what is lacking in a lot of marriages. Okay, I don't know what that's about. I missed the beginning of it.
I've inhaled more lead-based paint. I had myself tested. They said you don't have any lead.
Oh, me, my first radiator shop.
And I worked as a plumber.
My first radiator shop, solder, and there was no regulations or anything then, and I didn't know any better. Everybody just used their hands just all black and everything from the lead.
Ain't all kind of lead, and there ain't no problem with me.
And then my second radiator shop, they got into they went the other extreme. What you doing, Kim? They're swapping things around. Okay.
They said we need to get the work. So I'm showing them the work.
Let's see here. Now, so I am removing the address sign on my house, and I want to lead it holes like on a 50s Mercury. You're crazy. Uh-oh. Towel says, my folks got me to scrape the lead paint off my house with my teeth.
That isn't real. Don't listen to him.
Paul says there are too many people in government that ate the paint chips.
Yeah.
Gibson too.
They definitely have some.
Good evening. He says, whoa. Okay. That's somebody that knows me, but I'm trying to figure out who it is. Gibson 2. Who's Gibson 2? Give me a hint. Who are you? I'm trying to look to see what's up. Man.
Anyways.
You know what that looks like.
No.
That looks like CB radio. I don't know what that is.
Oh, CB radio.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out who Gibson 2 is.
So,
but anyway, hi. You don't.
I mean, they can just tell us what is it, some kind of game?
I know. I feel like we're on two different things here. Thanks. Tabo says okay. Basically, too many people in general ate the paint chip.
Well, they're so sweet.
The lead does worse when you're little, but always not good for your brain. Yeah, no, probably not. Yeah, me, it was probably a lot.
Do not recommend.
A lot would be the me, working at radiator shops when I was young. There was no regulation yet, and nobody even gave a crap.
That's right.
Robbie's here. Good evening.
We drink water out of lead pipes. You think that's bad? If it was bad for you, would the government have done that? Of course not.
Panea says you have to pull a permit for most things. Yeah. Depends on where you live. It really depends on where you live.
Who else did say?
Oh, Gibson too says from 390 Wagon Master. Well, good evening.
Robbie says the truck is coming along nicely. Thank you, Robbie. We're making progress. Some people are just impatient. You want it all, want it now. This is the inner door skins. I had to cut out of this.
That's off this side?
I did that after we worked on the turbo manifolds. Stuff's happening. I know it looks like we just drilled a couple holes and cut that out, but it's work. We get the work done around here a little bit. There's a big place to take care of.
We did a lot.
Old people.
We did a lot today. Well, the thing that we all call the swimming pool, everybody goes, oh, you have a pool. No, we have what was a pool 19 years ago, and we've been trying to get rid of it for years. And Kim's been out there with her machine, getting rid of some of it and cutting some of it. And
what do they call that when there's an old building that's ancient? Ruins. We have the ruins of a pool.
It's an above ground pool, but it's on a hillside. So I showed it in a video. We'll get to put the video up. But it shows the pool on one side. It looks above ground because it's down a hill. On the other side, it's just about even with the top. And I'm thinking I'm going to build some rails out there, like a wheel alignment rack that you drive onto. And then it's a 30-foot diameter flat spot. There's nothing that big in the yard anywhere. And we could make a nice place to have a car up on a rack, I would think. Just to drive. Kind of like a pit,
Todd Saw says y'all get free wood. That is a bonus. Well, it's not free. We have to go get it. But yeah, we don't have to pay extra for it.
Oh, it says drink water from glass bottle. well, we could get a glass, but the bottles that we get our water in, they're plastic. I don't know where you get it.
Microplastics. Olive says, I come from a land where the water supply comes from old clay pipes. I don't think I've seen water supply pipes that were clay.
No. I'm an honest person. I will call him if I change a faucet washer. Good. You're the guy. You belong in California.
I have lots of drainage pipes are made of clay, but very few supply. There are some supply systems that are clay. I worked on there's an area in a place called Regency Park. It's a housing plan, and the time period when it was built, the water pipes they were using, they were made out of they called transite pipe. It wasn't metal; it was transite, and what it was fiberglass asbestos pipe. It was asbestos. So, but the asbestos doesn't come out in the water. The only time you get exposed to the asbestos is when you have pipe breakage, where you have to like cut into the pipe to extend it, and then you have to use caution. And they have no intention of changing out those pipes if they don't need to, because the entire gigundous, I mean, this is a multi-generational housing plan, hundreds of homes. It's all supplied with that old transite pipe. And it's not little pipes. They're like infrastructure. You know, they'll be like that for another 50 or 100 years before they make clay pipes in my hometown, says Bruce. Okay. Barrow says, I used to go into low-income apartments that were destroyed and get them back into shape for the state of Wyoming and Idaho. Bleaching kills too, primer fixes a lot of stuff. Yeah, oh yeah. It's a lot of work, though. Absolutely a lot of work.
Yeah, I used to reline brake shoes when I was 17 years old. Reline brake shoes and then arc them, which is where you put them on this thing and you cut the arc so it fits the drum. And like this with a big sanding drum. His room would be all full of asbestos dust. We didn't know any better.
Ooh, everybody likes to talk about plumbing. Olive says in Massachusetts there was aqueducts made in the 18th century still used. Yeah, their clay would be a thing there. Yeah. Tavo says we have a Regency Park in South Oz, big industrial and transport hub. Oh, okay. No, this Regency Park was a giant housing plant. Liquid asbestos. I don't think they have those in California. No, nobody uses them now. But Burlock says here in town they used asbestos, but it's sealed. Yeah. No, straight bullet. They had non-pressure. You wouldn't use clay pipe anywhere there would be pressure, because it's not very good under pressure. But for like gravity flow, that's completely different. Another tip, Barrows says, if you're looking for a professional painter, ask them if you can see their 5-in-1 tool. If you can shave with it, they're a real painter, not just someone off the street. That's absolutely right. A good sharp 5-in-1 tool is a labor saver. It's like
I know we're having a hard time keeping up with the chat.
Yeah. And you know how it is within any trade. You have that tool that carpenter's always got a hammer. Painter's got a 5-in-1 tool. Absolutely.
So Carvon says asbestos brake test we all ate some years ago.
Oh man, did he eat that stuff?
Looking across the room, you could see across the room for all the asbestos stuff.
He was grinding it off with a grinder right there with no PE. They didn't care nothing.
Nobody knew what PE
when you
was.
Die, we'll hire somebody else.
No, they didn't even know what it would do. And then
Kent cigarettes used to have the filters that were asbestos. Hard to find now. No, they don't have anything like that. Do they still sell Kent brand cigarettes? I haven't bought cigarettes.
Which is worse, the asbestos or the cigarettes?
I haven't bought the asbestos. I haven't bought cigarettes in 25 years. Todd Saul says clay pipe has been used for centuries, and vitrified clay pipe is still commonly used today. Not as commonly, mostly because PVC pipe is cheaper and more durable for handling, right? Clay pipe is heavy and it is fragile when you're once you bury it in the ground, it's fine. But like handling it around, if your piece of clay pipe falls over, it breaks in half, and now you have losses. Whereas big PVC pipe is, I mean, you could drop it off a truck and it doesn't usually shatter. When it's really cold, it'll shatter, but
Hey, Wendy English just popped in. Hey, how are things going with your the guy that crashed into you? You get that sorted out? Oh man.
Todd Saul said that they should make a rule in California, no voting by morons. Well, then who would vote? How would you know if you're allowed to vote or not? Stray Bullet says when he had a painting business, the most important tool on the job was the bottle opener. Who needs a bottle opener? You just stick it on the side of the... Wendy English is here. Welcome.
I said that.
Oh, Josh Homer. Where are they coming from?
Well,
A bunch of people are coming all at the same time.
I asked Wendy how the thing was going with the crash. If somebody had, she got that straightened out. It was something about Buff might remember of Pewter Toys. You know, yeah, but that was
so good.
That was before. I don't know. I was born in '54, so yeah, '50s. God, I was in school in the '50s. Can you believe that? I started school in 1959. What the hell fell? Something with a big light.
Tape let go on that big. Oh, that is too bright.
Yeah, something happened.
Mexican spec, when it gets really cold, PVC pipe can get brittle. But when it gets that cold, nobody wants to work anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Navarro says, oddly enough, the place you find the most asbestos is in hospitals. They use it to this day. They use it to insulate pipes to this day.
Yeah, yeah, it works. They have other things, though. It's only for heating and stuff like that. There are places where they maintain the asbestos because it's useful. And the new asbestos, they make it. Oh, that is too bright. I gotta turn it on. The new asbestos, it's better. It's safer because they know that it's an issue. So it's not the same. Not that it's good to have around. They've learned in some cases by the error of their ways. Mexican spec says when the water freezes in the PVC pipe, it breaks, doesn't it? Well, yeah. I mean, that's true with most kinds of pipes, but most PVC is used for drainage, so it's underground where it can't freeze.
Hey, Talos says something. 50s and 60s Holden door strikers made perfect bottle openers. You know, a 57 Ford is perfect. Just open up a bottle.
I'll be darned. That must have been a real cost savings.
Oh, we always just
open a beer. Make the door strikers out of bottle openers.
Well, beers before they were twist offs, you had to pop them off, and you just open up your car door. And as crazy as that sounds.
Barry Kuda says I remember painting my auntie's asbestos garage roof. The paint would not stay on it. Is there a secret for painting asbestos? I'm sure there is a particular kind of paint that will soak in, but I don't know what it is because in most cases they do abatement, which is they rip it out and get rid of it. Stray Bullet says we were a high-class operation.
Oh, it says asbestos is one of those things that need to stay put, but we shouldn't make any more. See, something I don't understand about asbestos, when it's like inside a wall or something, why they tear the wall apart to take it out? Just leave it alone. I mean, she's right. I just don't understand why they don't do that. You know. See, chemistry set I got for Christmas didn't kill me. Oh, I had chemistry set, of course. And I don't know. I learned things from chemistry set. No, we did. No, we did not. He wants to pay me cash. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. Or you can do. I've done that before.
I mean, you can if he's
just make sure he pays you enough.
Yeah, right.
yeah, I mean, I did that. Truck driver hit me. I got rear-ended by a semi truck. Yeah, there's a good thing on an interstate. And the guy is 64 years old. He says, I've never been in an accident before. I've been driving for, I don't know, like 40, 50 years or something. And he said, I said, you know, this is going to kill your insurance. I said, if you want, I said, I'm getting all your insurance information. We're exchanging information. But if you want to send me a check, I'll accept that.
I mean, perfectly valid.
And you know what he
did?
If it's... And you know what he did? He sent me a check, and the check was good. And
as long as you're not.
And I was fine.
I was cheated.
Fine. I had all his insurance information. He'd go, he just, please don't give this to my insurance. Don't let my insurance know about it. I said, well, the check's good. I'm not going to tell your insurance about it. So, I don't know. We made an under the table deal.
Todd says asbestos is only dangerous to health if it is friable, meaning it can become dust. Yeah, like if it's being exposed to UV, or if it's wrapped around a pipe, but it's coming off and it's dissolving. That's the thing, is it does.
Paneo says to grind the asbestos down with 36 grit discs so it's loose. You're crazy. How's he thinking?
Don't do that.
Don't put that in here. People believe it. Okay. Somebody will believe it.
Yeah. This is not asbestos abatement advice.
Tavo, people freak out. My 1950 built house has lots of asbestos sheeting. Don't disturb it. It don't hurt you. That's exactly right. Yeah. That's what I think. Yeah, don't mess with it.
So that's the thing, right? Is okay, is it in good condition? Am I going to need to disturb it later? Like, do I have renovation plans? Because you can't move in and then renovate if the walls are made of asbestos, because you're going to have to do abatement to do the renovation. So, and that's where, like, if they're buying a house with plans to, because if it's from the 1950s, they're probably going to want to renovate, right? And so now the ceilings have to get ripped down. Well, there's no way to do that without making a big mess, right? So then what happens is you enter an agreement with the seller and you say, I want to buy the house, but you need to abate the asbestos first so that I can do my renovation.
Asbestos friable means it can become airborne.
Airborne, yeah. Yeah, you do not want to breathe it or get into your eyes or mucous membranes or any...
World of Wood Chip.
These people know about asbestos.
Catch World of Wood Chip.
World of Wood Chip says cat's good. Asbestos insulation good. Cats plus asbestos insulation bad. Some things are not the sum of that. Well, you're right. The cat goes... and then now it's airborne. Yeah. I've done at-home asbestos abatement. It's like you make it not friable, right? You get your PPE, you get all bundled so it's not going to get on you. You close all the doors, you turn off the heating, air conditioning so air isn't blowing all around, right? You soak it all down so that it's not dusty or airborne. You cut it off, it goes straight in the bag. The bag gets closed, it never opens again, and it goes to the abatement center. It's gone. It's gone. Right? Oh, the conspiracy is the reason they want you to remove the asbestos is because it blocks X-rays. I don't think that really has anything to do with it. I really don't. The cancers that asbestos causes are horrific, and it can happen many decades later. And
where is this? I don't know what kind of Ford rule says. Most of their bolts are used once by new ones. I don't know what the conversation is about, but yeah, a lot of things are like that because they're torqued all the way to their stretch point, so you can only do that once. In English, you won't give me any insurance info, so I'm thinking, this guy gave me all his info. You know what we did? We pulled off the side of the road, and it was nice, calm, no wind day. Spread all our paperwork out on the back of my car, and we took pictures of everything. So I had pictures of all his licenses, insurance paperwork, registration, all that kind of stuff, and he had all mine. And so I wasn't worried about that, because if he didn't pay me, I was going to turn it into his insurance company. He was worried I was going to do that after he paid me, but no, I'm not going to do that.
Mark Sauvé says asbestos is still highly used in industrial buildings. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it is. I know there's some, it does some things really well, like durability against heat and fire and things like that. But I'm sure there's substitutes for it, so I don't know. Olive says, yeah, all the stuff they allegedly didn't do while demolishing the East Wing. Yeah, it's been, people have suggested that was not done right, but I don't know. What are they going to do?
That building's bad shape.
It's gone.
The East Wing?
Yeah, they tore it completely down.
The whole building. You're talking about the White House, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the whole White House is in pretty bad shape.
That's a shame.
Well,
it's an old building.
Built in the early 1800s. It's rebuilt in the early 1800s. Mexican spec says they might want to get police involved. Yeah, and see, you got one problem, because it's a friend, and the friend crashed into you or caused the accident, and then the friend doesn't want to provide insurance. And
let's see. Barracuda says it's like people were forced to have interior houses walls torn out if meth smokers had lived there. Yeah, I've heard some weird things about it. You definitely want to have that cleaned, and then what? I would think in a lot of cases, like primer and paint was seal that stuff in. I had a room in a house that the walls bled. We painted latex paint on the walls. Sorry. We painted the walls, and every time you took a shower, the walls would bleed this yellow. I think the people were smokers, and the smoke, you couldn't seal it.
My parents' house, their bedroom, so just, you paint it and the paint would just slide off the walls. It would just, like a month later, it'd be coming off the walls from all that.
Olive says they demolished it all, then started proposing. Yeah, they did it backwards. It's everybody has to follow all the rules except us. We can just do whatever the hell we want. Isn't that always the way? Tavo says, since asbestos takes a couple of decades to do its work in your body, you should only get people who are in their 70s to work with it. Most will drop dead of natural causes first. Tavo, honestly, that might be, I've seen that in action. That's not even a fake thing. Like, we'll have the old people do the radiation stuff because they're going to die eventually. And I'm okay with that, If there was a call to action, like we have this horrible stuff that'll kill you in 20 years, and we need people to fix it or else all the children will die, I would volunteer, because I'm not going to live forever anyways. So maybe that is the way. Except I would not really be all that useful, because I can only work a couple hours at a time, and they need, that's a lot of work. Cutting walls out.
Yeah, Straight Willis is right. Yeah, the White House was rebuilt after 1812. So that's an old building.
Yeah, that's an old building. Although they've done remodeling parts.
Well, when
but a structure
who was
crazy.
There? That's when I think it was when who was president when they redid that?
Eisenhower.
It was Eisenhower? I think it was before.
I don't know.
No, it was like 19. I think it was 1950.
I thought this was a car channel.
No, I think it was 1950.
I'm bored of talking about it.
So even when they even 1950, that's a long time ago, They might want to raise the retirement. Just retire when you're ready to retire. Let's see.
Any kind of painting project, it's the end result is always in how well you do the preparation.
Yeah.
You could put all the paint on any way you want, but if you don't do your prep work, it's going to be not as good.
Daniel's right. I think it was Harry Truman that was in office when, because I think he lived in another building for like over a year while they were redoing that, like almost 2 years. When English says she's got to go to bed, she can get up and go to work.
I understand when.
Yeah, you're one of those people that puts in a lot of hours.
I'm sorry, Wendy.
One thing that bleeds is red. Any color that has red pigment in it. Painters call it red tax, and if you don't do it right, it's called cherry bombing. Huh. I've had some trouble with red, but
Well, Barracuda's dad installed new flooring in the 60s, linoleum probably. He often had to tear out old linoleum, which apparently has asbestos in it. He died of lung cancer in 2006. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Barracuda. Yeah, when I was doing construction, we were warned that, the 9-inch square tiles, the red and the white tiles, are commonly asbestos.
When I was a kid,
if they are breaking up, if they are dissolving and you have to remove them, you need to call in a specialist and do not mess with them. But I've taken them out before.
Yeah,
you wear PPE, you don't breathe, you wet it all down so that there's no dust. And
I did it in the 50s, 59 and 60. We had to take out all the asbestos tile, and we helped. And I was a kid, and I loved doing it, and so I did it. And there was no, of course, nobody knew then, but it was asbestos.
I had to take
tile.
some of that out up in Pittsburgh before I came back, before the sale of that house.
Oh, but you knew what it was.
I knew what it was. Yeah. Looking at it, I said that I don't know for a fact it was, but it was like this stuff could be, and it was all peeling up. It was all dog-eared and all the bad things. And I just went in there. I soaked the whole room down so there was no dust. I loaded it all in bags, and it got disposed of, and we didn't even have it tested. It had to go no matter what.
Two things here. Tavo says there's a video of a high-end Falcon FPV GT being destroyed because it was in the vicinity of an asbestos-related fire. Yeah, that's a stupid idea.
That's a stupid law.
Who came up with
that?
That
was AI. That wasn't real.
Let's see. Buddy Carfano says, did the new gasket stop the leak skid steer?
Did they?
Well, you were driving.
I think they might have helped.
You put a new.
I don't know for sure. And I put the belt on today, but I didn't get a chance to drive it. I think so, yeah. I had a lot of problem with foaming and the belt slipping, so I kind of stopped driving it, and it seems to be holding its fluid. It's hard to tell because there's so much oil in the pan. I can't tell if it's still leaking more or not. I don't know. More will be revealed in the near future because I still need to do some cleanup with it here. So we'll find out, but I don't know yet. Thanks for asking. I'm trying. The car had to be destroyed by law? That's a dumb law. Laws are dumb.
People are not so smart, make laws.
Right. I don't understand. No. Why are people so dumb?
Kim's measuring something. Oh, Tavo put up a link to it. I'm gonna click on it.
Don't do it! It's a virus. Jeez.
Oh, it is. It's AI.
Is it? AI rage face. I don't know.
Fort Rolls, I bet you're not Caucasian. Caucasian are people from the Caucasus Mountains area. Very dark-skinned people.
Okay.
And then Tavo says, not AI, really happened. Yeah, because I got a lot of friends that really are Caucasian, and they're from Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan, that sounds made up.
No, it used to be it was former Soviet Republic, and now it's its own country.
Yeah, I don't know why they just sound so like a made up.
I never understood how European white-looking people became Caucasian. Makes no sense to me at all. People are Caucasian come from the area where the Caucasus Mountains are. And if you, like in Russia, if you told somebody you were Caucasian, they assume you're from Azerbaijan or from Armenia or somewhere in that area of the world.
When a mommy Caucasian and a daddy Caucasian love each other very much.
Slimo says, my farm was in the Terry demolition boneyard. I found heaps of scrap, non-ferrous metal, and made $5,000, but I spent $2,000 removing asbestos.
What?
Fort Rolls. No, I just never understood how Caucasian was like a light-skinned European person. Because that's just. See, Stray Bullet says, I grew up in Salinas. Caucasian was the minority there. So, okay, again, Caucasian is a misnomer.
Misnomer?
What's it say here? Pendejo. Pendejo. Says, Buff, you look like a lot of the, I don't know what that is. The retreat. Oh, no, I know what that is. Oh, it says, the Caucasian thing comes from some obsolete anthropology, but it's not used in science. Yeah, I can imagine. It's
Yeah.
It's
obsolete.
Only Americans call white people Caucasian. Oh man.
It shows up on kind of government.
Because government forms. I never put Caucasian. I'll put like
Some of them just.
I'll just put like now. I'll put other, or I'll put
other.
Or
other.
See, there was a group of people called Walloons that were in the kind of where Belgium is today, and I have ancestors that were Walloons, so I'll put Walloons down if I have to put something.
I'll bet you they don't know what that is.
Oh, that's good. They don't know what it is.
We just want to know.
In Victorian times, this was their best idea of where white people came from. Paleo. How come I can't say that? Paleo. Okay, everybody read that word.
Paleo.
I can normally say it, but I can't spit it out.
Paleolithic?
Real close. Let's see, Slimo. My Irish and Scottish ancestors have Russian branches because of old sea links. Yeah, Thomas was called a white fella here. Yeah, as well as opposed to black fella.
Right. Yeah. Well, here you have to know if you're in a special group, special person.
Beneo says, I am a Marasian. Marasian.
I would say I am a mutt.
I'm pretty much a mutt.
A little bit of everything.
I am a mutt. It's like there's so many different this and that, but that's okay. It's kind of like American,
Yeah.
And actually, I used to say, well, I guess it depends on how far back you go, because people traveled and people conquered other people and people did all kinds of things. And if you go back a couple thousand years, you probably all have no clue what we are.
Yeah. What he said. Which
noise
do you want me to make?
Which noise do I want you to make?
Do you want me to make this noise, or you want me to make the scissor noise, or what do you want?
I got these. I'll put these on while she's making noise,
It won't be really.
and you can speak amongst yourselves.
It won't be really long. You could show them if they want to see. I suppose.
Steve Edwards, what color are you going to paint? I expect to paint it the same color as the original.
Or purple. Green.
Because Chrysler products, the underside of the hood, all the unibody, everything under there.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, that's dangerous. The switch, the on-off switch, melted in the on position. So maybe we shouldn't have bought the cheapest Harbor Freight grinder.
It only lasted like 8 or 9 years.
Damn it!
So now the switch is melted.
I thought this was one of mine.
Oh, well, I have one too, don't I?
Yours is already dead.
Okay, so we have 2 of them. They're both died.
Potentially.
We need another one.
Yeah, we need a. Yeah, because yours had the triggery thing here. Mine was the cheap one. So now I've killed them both. I don't know how it died.
So the color of the car.
I'm going to use it anyways. Put your things on.
Just a minute, let me finish.
Okay.
Because the underside of the hood and the underside of the car, the whole unibody is all the same color. I don't want to change all that. I don't want to open up the hood and see the wrong color. So I'm probably going to paint it the original 1972 Plymouth, whatever the hell that is. I forget the name of the color, but I know what it is.
Dandelion. I got it.
Dallas says, annoy the Jesus out of Mopar purist and paint the engine fade black. You know, Tony at Uncle Tony's Garage, he paints them all white, which is, I'm fine with that too. And he does that so it's easier to work. It's light, you know, you can put a light down there and it's plenty of light to work.
Oh, we definitely found that dark engine bays are the bane of all existence for YouTube.
So,
if you want to see something on camera, do not paint it black. Like the whole bed of this truck is black and it's visible in the freaking camera. It's darn thing.
So now you're an Art Bell guy. I used to listen to Art Bell all the time. Inspector Bruce is saying gloves, Tim. And gloves and rotating assemblies are not always good together because the gloves get caught. Getting a little abrasion is a whole lot better than getting a glove wrapped around something.
Real bad.
Yeah, Stray Bullet says it's sort of a creamy yellow color. Yeah, there's a name for it, and I don't remember what it is. It's because I've looked it up. Actually, I've got a can of it here, but I just had it matched. Actually, that tailgate, I painted that because it was actually the deck lid, and it was a replacement deck lid that had been green, and I painted it that yellow. Yeah, truck bed coating. What do they call it stuff? Bed liner. I think you can get bed liner in just about. I think you get it in any color.
Oh yeah, you can have it tint.
I'd like to have it then the same color as the.
Okay, I'm gonna make noise again, just for a minute.
More noise. Here
Yeah,
we go.
but don't worry about the camera. Say when.
Is that going to need to be split like the other side?
We might have to get it without doing it this time.
Wow.
Now that I know. Let's hold it out here. This. And, I think I can do that.
Cord rule says I painted my trunk and nose on my car with truck bed liner. Well, that'll keep it from dust damage.
Done. Perfect. There, I retired.
What's going on over there?
See, fixed.
That reminds me of a friend who always paints engines black so oil leaks won't show. Rather have a nice color and wipe the oil off. Yeah, back in like 56, 57 Fords, the Y blocks back then, those engines were painted black and the valve covers were red. So we used to do it, but yeah, it was real dark down in there because the inner fenders were black and then the engines were black. I don't especially like it. Straight bullet. My father always painted engine blocks white. I did it once, and that is way too hard to keep clean. Way too hard. I did a 289 Ford white.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of dust in the air. It stinks. That's like a whole. Smells like a iron worker in here.
That it does.
Arrows. Too. Choosing a matcher to go with the car, not with the factory. Well, the wood chips. Sounds like a body shop coming out of my computer. Could you hear that? I don't know. A lot of times that noise. There's
loud.
so much of this in the air.
Breathe through a paper towel.
Oh God, I gotta do cough drop or something.
Painted a Datsun 210 engine fluorescent green, says the bread man. That was a huge mistake. No way. Fluorescent green sounds great. Tabo's a stickler for factory-colored engines. He loses sleep if the shade is even slightly wrong.
Yeah, Barrow says my 55 Ford Y block was painted yellow, but that was, it seems to me the trucks were a different color. They're bright color, like yellow or something.
Oh, it took a minute for the noise canceling to kick in, huh? Sorry about that. Sorry. Oh boy.
Shallow says I'm one of those weird sticklers for factory colored engine blocks. Even slightly the wrong shade makes me lose sleep. Yeah, this one here is it's a slant, and somebody had painted it orange. I guess I just left it, and then I painted the the head and the valve cover with yeah, Hemi orange or something.
I don't remember. Shows you what I know.
Mexican Spec says, I strongly dislike yellow engines. Oh, Dodge truck engines down here were a pale yellow color. What I like is like what I would call machinery colors. Like I remember a lot of like I go in a machine shop and the machines would be like a medium to dark green, just looked like machinery to me. And I always thought that looked good. A friend of mine did a Packard engine and he painted it that color, kind of a dark green color, and it looked like what I call machinery. It looked like machinery. Now, I don't know what color that Packard engine was supposed to be.
Why would you want your car machinery color? What color do they think we should paint the Bronco to?
The Bronco too. Yeah. Barrow says he painted one robin egg yellow or yellow. Did I say yellow? Robin egg blue. I was reading blue and I said yellow. Also, when I put my Duster's 318 back in, I did the Mopar turquoise. Later, I used the leftovers for Strat clone with primer gray pick guard. Not sure what that is. Okay, so we should have a. Oh, that looks like it will work. Almost.
Yeah.
Really
After
close.
you left, I did a little more dressing, but I didn't size it up. I just went to my lines.
Slime.
Boy, that's something bad.
$148 Australian to fill my Commodore wagon yesterday.
Oh, it's rough.
And that's over $100 US.
Fits up pretty nice. You done good. Thank you. Appreciate your help with it. That's really good. That is gonna turbonium. That's a special element.
Tava wants to know, did you already have half a tank?
Wrinkle black valve covers. I don't know. I don't think we're not painting anything black if we're going to be on YouTube with it. If we want to paint something black, it is not a studio vehicle.
So I'm going to change the subject.
To what?
Well, there was when I was in 390 Wagon Master, his live earlier tonight while you were at your event. He wanted to know, he says he makes French toast. And you make French toast sometimes. You put white bread. He goes, just cheap white bread, and you put it. He goes, and you put it in a wash, eggs, and he goes, and you put milk in there, and then maybe something else. But it goes eggs and milk, and you wash it like that. And he goes, but my daughter says no milk. What do you put milk in there for? He goes, we always put milk in there. She goes, you never put milk in there. He goes, my wife and I always put milk, but now my wife sides with my daughter. No milk. So I want to know, do you make French toast? Do you put milk in the egg? Or no milk in the egg? I went off the deep end, didn't I?
I put cinnamon in mine too. Do all lives descend to talking about food? Yes. Every conversation devolves into talk of food, Mexican Spec. Have you not conversed with humans before?
Anything else? I deep fry French toast. Yes, eggs and milk, cinnamon.
Daughter's wrong. Yeah.
Wrong. Blue grit. Blue grit's here. Hey, says add cinnamon.
They know. They
and
know.
Mexican Spec says
Done.
I put probably milk in the eggs. White Car Pound says yes, milk. Stray Bullet says a little milk. Carbide Jones says milk. Stray Bullet says add cinnamon. The question was milk or no milk, but yeah, okay, cinnamon. Either way is correct. Is Baker's choice, says Inspector Bruce.
That's right. You know what? If somebody else is cooking it for me, you will not hear me make a mistake about the way they do it. okay with either direction if somebody else cooks. But I do it.
Okay, so it was the same thing on 390 Wagon Master. It was like,
what is it, about 50-50 or
milk?
most?
No, it was like everybody was like milk. Yeah, add milk. They proved the daughter wrong, and his wife, who always used to use milk, to quit using milk and sided with the daughter.
Now she's also.
Well, what about omelets? Does anybody make an omelet?
Of course.
What is this? What you don't want to put in French toast is mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. You don't put mayonnaise in there.
Daniel spells it the Spanish way, mayonnaise, which mayonnaise has lime in it, but never put that on French toast. Yeah, I don't think that would be too good.
Yeah. No, horrible.
Buddy Carapano says use Texas toast for the thicker bread. Man, I like stuff like that. Man, I'm trying to eat. I wanted a sandwich today, and you know what I did? Got out a tortilla, a small tortilla, and I had one because I got to watch the carbs, you know. Stray Bullet says, and there is another secret ingredient that puts my French toast over the top. What is that? Blue Grit, damn it. I'm hungry. It's time for bed.
See what you've done.
Yeah, you got to go make something to eat.
See what you've done, these poor people.
Then you go to bed with a full belly and you'll feel like crap in the morning.
I did that the other night. I was hungry and I ate right before bed.
And then you didn't feel good the next morning.
Oh, I felt like I was sleeping on a rock.
Straight Bullet says a little milk and omelet also. Yeah. You know, I made some omelets the other day. I made Kim's first, and I put a little milk in it and just like this in the egg. And I made the omelet, flipped it over, you know, looks like a half a pan, you know. Brought it to her. She was really happy.
Heck yeah, I didn't have to get up and make any food.
She didn't even have to get out of bed. She was having breakfast.
Yeah, I got breakfast in bed. What did I do What did I do to deserve such?
Gee, man, I have low-carb egg wrap plus with some salsa. You know, I'd probably make another omelet. Inspector Bruce says, I use King's Hawaiian bread. It's sweet. Man, I love that stuff. But that stuff sets my esophagus on fire. I love that bread, but I get heartburn so fierce. I wish I didn't, because I like it. Carlos says, worst thing about living out here, nowhere nearby to grab a decent burger.
Oh, yeah. You can't buy a burger nearby? No place at all.
How are you doing, Tavo? You able to drive any distance yet?
Oh, it's pretty soon.
Well, no, but he's been driving. He didn't think he'd ever drive again. He's driving, you know.
Well, that's because he's tough.
So he's tough, you know.
Old bird. Can't keep him down.
Pam says, you know what sounds good right now? Peanut butter and cheese whiz on celery sticks? Probably means celery. I want some celery sticks. Where can I get some celery sticks? What do you call it? White or brown eggs? I don't think it makes any difference.
Does it make difference? It might. More game thing.
Yeah, it says, I never understood with low carb diets. Are they talking dual plane or single plane?
Low carb. Low. Whichever's lowest. It's usually single plane because that's lower. The carb is lower with the single plane.
The problem with the carbs is in my sugar group. And I'm a diabetic.
They know it.
So it's just, I know, but he has only been in here for a few weeks. So I just got to pay attention and I'll let my blood go way up. Oh, and Olive says, oh, the Hawaiian bread may have potato. You know, you may be right, because the potato bread is the other one that does that to me. And potato bread does that to me. The Hawaiian bread does that to me. And the Wendy's burgers, that I can't eat their bread. It just, same thing, it just sets this on fire. Any other bread I'm fine with, except I shouldn't be eating. Tavo, yeah, still on restrictions book, but I can drive between towns out here. That's good. You know what? I looked around your little town there when you sent me that location. I got on Google Maps and I looked around that little town. There's not a lot there. How far do you have to go to get groceries or something besides just little stuff? Oh, it says maybe you have stupid nightshade things like I do. So I don't know what that means. Nightshade things.
That's tomatoes. You have had issues with tomatoes.
Oh, when I was a little kid, I did, but not after I was about 9 or 10 years old.
Maybe it's only certain things now.
Let's see. Josh Holman says, I have eaten white and brown eggs. There's no difference. Yeah, if I didn't look at them, I wouldn't know the difference. And there's somewhere I was not too long ago, in like the last year or two. It was all different. The eggs were all like different colors, kind of light blue and all different light shades of colors that I don't know what they were. And I don't know why those were good. He's otherwise ignoring doctor's advice now and just pushing myself to do stuff I probably shouldn't be doing. My father did that after he got out of the hospital.
Keep moving.
He kept moving.
Don't overdo it.
And he did that. He got out of the hospital when he was 77, and they wanted him to do nothing. And he started walking. He'd been walking 5 miles a day before he ended up in the hospital. And then he got back so he could walk a mile a day pretty easily. But struggling with that. Mark Sylvia says, in 1995, I went to Nashville with a friend of mine that drove 18-wheeler. Couldn't understand why, having breakfast at the truck stop, they would have hot sauce on the table. Oh, a lot of people do that. Slimo, the best way to get fit is start the day with a glass of water and a 20-minute walk.
Yeah, we gotta start getting you out.
You know, my father, that's probably what he did. He was not a coffee drinker in the morning. He probably did. That's probably what he did. He'd go out and he'd walk 5 miles, and he lived in a area that was very, very hilly. It was a neighborhood, but it was very hilly. What's wrong, Kim? You just ran out of...
Well, we were doing stuff all day, and then I had to go out a little bit earlier than normal. I didn't get my midday rest.
You just pooped out. Yeah. Okay, Tavo says 28 kilometers to the nearest grocery store, 22 to a small basic store in the other direction. They got to be in the opposite direction.
Jeez.
Well, 28 kilometers, what's that, like about 18 miles? Something? Yeah, that's a pretty good run. Man. That's the one thing bad about living out in the country is sometimes you could be... I used to live about 25 miles from the nearest store, and it was a little old wood building, wood floors, and they kind of had groceries, but not a lot. And that was kind of my place to go. But that was many years ago. Oh, geez. Barracuda says, when I was new to painting cars, 1982, I repainted my Valiant from gunmetal to black. I followed the advice from a magazine as to how much to thin lacquer, way too much. The whole car wrinkled. Probably, maybe it wrinkled just from being lacquer. Man. Yeah, you got to seal the shit out of it with lacquer. Potatoes are nightshade plant, as are tomatoes and chilies and okra and eggplant. Oh, okra, I can eat okra. I love okra. Eggplant, I don't like. Chilies, I don't have any problems with. Tomatoes, I don't have any problems with. Potatoes, the biggest problem I have with potatoes is the carbs. So, But potato bread, I have a huge problem with. I don't know. Oh, and it burns my esophagus just is burnt. You know, it says lacquer will attack other paints. It sure will. Travel 58 kilometers to the nearest city-type town, so can't legally go there yet. Man. What do you call it? Ketchup on eggs, yes or no? Oh, yeah, I used to do that.
I do that sometimes. Stray Bullet says I need more coffee. Actually, I've had a lot of caffeine in the last couple hours, and it's not enough. Like I'm, there's limits to what coffee can do, and I'm.
Barrow says Tabasco sauce, the red sauce, yeah, Tabasco sauce, with biscuits and gravy, roadside heaven on a plate. See, I'm not into that at all. When I was in the Air Force, so many guys would go over to the club in the morning and get biscuits and gravy, and I did it once, and I thought, I didn't understand that. And that was a big deal. A bunch of guys that do that every day, biscuits and gravy. Very good. I thought, oh my God, it's ruined. But amazingly, it all settled back down. It was a good paint job. Really? Original paint was that metallic enamel Chrysler used to use. Oh yeah, enamel with lacquer. I wouldn't think that would work at all. So
Josh Homan says no ketchup for me.
Ford rule says a kilometer is 0.062 miles. It's actually 0.62. It's actually like 0.0625, something like that.
Tavo says,
so yeah, okay, we know the
only thing on eggs is black pepper. Black pepper is that not a given?
See, black pepper, you know what that does to me? Well, I like it, but then it starts to sneeze and fit.
In the eggs?
Well, he says, on the eggs. I guess you could sprinkle it in the eggs. It probably wouldn't do that to me. I don't know. Slimo, world best race boats in Terry. I don't know how to pronounce that. Terry. This weekend for the Easter Powerboat Classic. I'll be on the riverbank tomorrow.
Well, that sounds cool, Slimo. Enjoy. Take a short or some couple of video clips while you're out there. And
I was trying to figure out what's causing bread. See, and here's the thing. I'm not supposed to be eating much bread anyway, so especially sweet bread that's sweet, like that Hawaiian bread. Man, that stuff that's just like eating carbs, and I shouldn't be doing that at all. So it's like, well, I guess I'll just not eat it.
Yeah, they can do that thing with the scientific where they give you all the shots. Did I tell you I got blisters from the poison ivy on my arm?
No.
Just a couple.
Where'd you get that, from the pool? Or?
Yeah, there's poison ivy all around over there.
Also, tobacco's interesting as nightshades go. The key alkaloid is reversed. And what is that word?
I don't know. Chirality?
Okay, you're talking above my head.
Tavo says you're supposed to eat it on the food buff, not snort it. I think he's talking about the black pepper.
The black pepper, what happens, she'll put black pepper on something, and I'll eat it, and it's good, but then I'll get, all it takes is one piece in my dry throat, and man, I start a sneezing fit. What's that other stuff you put in food? It's so good, but I can't eat it.
Spicy stuff. I put that Cajun seasoning in. Oh, cayenne pepper.
That's what I've been calling
cayenne pepper.
Because I thought it was funny when I figured it out. I just like Padejo. That's another. It's like funny as hell.
Mark Savay says his half brother will throw out a bottle of ketchup if he sees one. Well, takes it personal. Olive says that black and white peppers are not the same as other pepper plants. Well, they're peppercorns, so yeah, I think there's something different.
Oh yeah, that's completely different. That's not from like heartburn. It's the little piece of pepper. Once in a while, I get one in my throat. Man, I start a sneezing fit. I can't stop.
Bear Rose says after he got new teeth, he can only do fine ground black pepper. Anything else is like holy cow chewing on a prickly pear with hot sauce. Oh, never
D-Man,
thought of that.
Tabasco, ketchup.
Olive said same names, whole different plant families. That makes sense.
Yeah, Ford rules. There's so much. You say most people don't know both conversions. There's so many people in here that are kilometers and miles, and I've my whole life has been every system there is. So I yeah, I don't know, I just live with. I don't even think hard about it. But when I'm thinking about, um, like how far he's driving, I know about what it is. Without, because I'm not going to get on my calculator.
Mark Sauvé says, I think there's some form of PTSD involving a ketchup bottle at some point. That's good, very likely. That would trigger, yeah, paint trigger. Barry Kuda says, what was the paint Chrysler used in the 60s? Some kind of alkaloid enamel, something like that?
I used to see that word used on Nissans and Toyotas. Nissans back in there called Datsuns. I know I used to see alkyd enamel on a lot of stuff in the 50s and 60s. D-Man says, oh, ketchup or ketchup. Catsup. I don't know, whatever. Whatever bottle you pick up, whatever it says on it.
Olive says chirility is basically like the arrangement of a molecule. Could be the same structure, but fit different things, like your right and left hands are different. Yeah, like receptors and stuff like that. Science stuff. I don't know. I work in this garage. I don't know.
My science stuff is all in
rocket science.
Yeah, rocket science.
Yeah, we're not rocket scientists here. We don't know how those molecules work.
Well, metallurgy.
Slimo says my ghost chili chicken curry is like chemical warfare. That sounds delicious, Slimo. How about that Artemis 2 launch?
I did watch it. I didn't watch it live. I watched it about a half an hour later. I don't remember why that happened, but it happened. I did watch it. It's sort of interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I guess at least we're not just circling the Earth. We're doing some research. I don't really quite understand why they want to put a base on the moon. It's a pretty nasty place. It's going to cost a lot of money. Going to be a lot of hassle. But I don't know. I guess it's what we do. I guess explore.
That's so we have some place to send the rich people when we're completely sick of them finally.
Synthol enamel. Synthetic. That's what we always call it. Synthetic enamel.
I think that's
and then the Tavo converter for his nearest grocery store is 15.1. Oh, nautical miles or miles? I bet that's best on nautical miles. Because maybe it is nautical miles. That's just what we need. K-roll.
Yes, Olive, we had demised that you were into bioinformationic and NASA types. Did NASA types care about potatoes? Maybe they do. Didn't Matt Damon grow potatoes on Mars?
Ooh.
I think he did. I guess that is NASA focused on Mars. He survived Mars by growing potatoes, didn't you know?
Let's see here, Barrow says, I know the baby blue Mopar used on the 65 Dart runs off when the snow melts. Ooh, when I brought that car in the shop, it stained my floor blue. It's melting off the snow. Really?
Well, if it was sunburned paint from 1965.
Steve Bullet says everyone is happy when the rocket doesn't blow up. Yeah.
I mean, it's better. Yeah.
So Olive says we already got people further out since Apollo 17. So they're out there they're out there. I know they're supposed to take a big wide sweep way out around the moon, so they will be out much further. But you said they're already out there then. Yeah, they went into high orbit pretty quickly. They were going. I saw the speed, and the speed should have been like to be in orbit like 17,500 miles an hour, and they were showing it in miles per hour, and it was almost like 18. It was well over 18. So I knew they were going too fast to stay down low, and then they did a burn, which means they went out even further. But then I was watching the speed come down, so I knew they were in orbit. But if you said they're out further, did they already do the translunar injection? I guess they would have if they're out that far.
That's what Mike says.
Oh, where's Mike say that? Where is it? Mike in.
2 up from the bottom.
Oh.
No, that's real. You know that, right?
Was this afternoon.
That's all AI. They don't actually launch rockets anymore. There's no such thing as rockets, space rockets. Come on.
Did the rocket really need passengers? A sack of potatoes.
Right. Right. Why would they rocket people into space? That's all.
I know they're saying their eventual thing is to go to Mars. I guess.
What are you gonna do on Mars?
I'm thinking those are pretty nasty places to go. And if they really want to find out what's there, they could probably do something.
They know what's there. They have lunar
They could
rovers.
bring something back without. Yeah, but I mean, bring something back. They could do that, but I don't know. I guess sending people, I guess, is a thing that we're gonna do.
I'll pass.
Well, when I was young, I thought that's what.
The only reason they want to go to Mars is because they fully intend to ruin everything we have here first.
So, Mike N, so the translunar injection burn was this afternoon. So, how did that go? Oh. You could have subscribed to a channel called Barrow's Garage. Oh.
Good job, cool. Barry Cootie. You should have been subscribed to Barrow's Garage years ago.
Don't give him a hard time. He's there. At some point, they will hit a burn and another loop and get them on course to the translunar injection. Let's check the time. Well, I thought they did the translunar injection. See, Barrows, we really do need to send people on those space missions. Probes and robots just don't do it. And lose public opinion and support for it. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess.
Oh, so this is like Apollo 8. They need to test all the manned crew stuff. Oh, yeah, I understand that, but it's just like, I guess they're going to go land on the moon again. They want to have a permanent moon station. It just seems.
But they're not planning on landing this one on the
moon. No, this is
a test.
Like she says, like Apollo 8. They're doing a sweep around the moon. Except they're going way out, way out, much further. So they're going to be further from Earth than any humans have ever been from Earth. I don't know what that proves, but I mean, they're doing that for a reason.
Yeah, it's a publicity stunt. None of that.
Mike N, it was a 5-minute burn. Went well.
Nobody's ever actually been into space.
So if it's a 5-minute burn, they're probably, that's escape velocity. So they're on their way. And that's what Mike N says. They're on their way.
What? The moon is made of cheese.
Cheese. 95 Sporties here. 95 Sporty.
What kind of cheese?
Hello, guys. Hello, 95 Sporty.
Swiss cheese. That's why there's all those.
That's why there's all those marks on the moon, because it's made out of Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
That's why we have Swiss cheese.
If they bring some back, would you eat moon cheese?
Moon cheese? They have moon pies.
I don't think that's the same. I wouldn't offer you moon pies. There's too much sugar in them. Moon cheese. What do you think that would taste like? It'd be really moldy. It's been up there floating around. Gritty and moldy.
Like eating cut glass.
Yeah. I don't know, though. I might eat it just so I could say that I had some moon cheese.
Yeah, also, they want to hit a window so they can swing back to Earth without a burn. Yeah, they did that with Apollo 8. Did they do that with Apollo 8? They did it with Apollo 13. But they did it very close to the moon. This one, they're doing the same thing, but they're going a much higher altitude above the moon. So I don't really, You know, it used to be when all this stuff was going on, it was all so new, and I just followed every bit of it as a kid, you know, so it's interesting. But now, I just didn't follow much of it. I don't know the reasons why they're doing all this, everything why they're doing the altitude they're doing.
Well, the moon is the original cheese. See, the Swiss cheese on Earth came that one time that the moon and Earth collided.
That's
how we got.
She gets silly like this when she gets tired. I can tell. It's called a free return orbit. Yep. Usually they.
Wow, you guys are sciencey tonight. That's kind of cool.
They kind of know this stuff.
That's kind of cool.
It's those of us that are the age that remember.
Have you guys been watching Fran Lab? She's very space sciencey kind of person. I like her. She's cool.
You watch her? I watch her too. I didn't know you watched her.
I don't watch all of Fran Lab stuff, but I do enjoy when I see something that interests me, I do like it. And she does the news sometimes. She's very dry though. Like it's an intentional bit, but she's just very it's like a dry, witty sort of sarcasm tone. I guess I do that sometimes too.
Chinese base on the dark side of the moon. I get upset. What
about the Nazi base?
What's on that side? It's just something sitting there, right? I don't know how they're communicating with that.
What about the Amazon women on the moon?
We're gonna get really silly.
That would be cool to see. Are they still up there?
CM Vintage is here. Hey, just got home from fixing my ex's lawnmower. Well, that must have been fun. Having fun playing games with her 4-year-old son.
That does sound fun. Cool.
I made her drive the new Scamp.
Oh, that's cool.
So what
Did she like it?
So what she think of a Slant 6? How do you like driving a Slant 6 around every day? Hey, are you still driving your Pinto wagon? Or did the Slant
No, he said
that
the Scamp was his daily driver now. He liked it so much. He liked it so much about the company. Olive says the plan was there'd be a space station in orbit around there.
Yeah, I saw that they're planning on not doing that.
No?
No, they plan on just putting the station on the ground, on the moon.
Did they put up a reactor up there yet? I mean that in real life.
No, they haven't done anything like that yet.
That's a sensible start, is to put a good energy source there.
You know, let's pollute the shit out of that place.
No, they know how to build a slow burn reactor that doesn't. Although I don't know what you do with the heat. It'd be hard to dissipate heat with no atmosphere. Ditzler. Oh, supplied by Ditzler. An enamel lacquer.
Called enamel lacquer. That's really weird. Supplied by Ditzler. Huh.
Slimo says Killer Clowns from Outer Space is the best space movie. That sounds scary. I probably didn't watch it because that freaks me out. I don't like scary. That's all.
Then it says the Pinto's at the new house. It's in the rotation. The Scamp is the main driver. What year is that Scamp? 72? 74? I don't remember something.
I think it was a 74. 74? Tanner says she was a bit nervous because I made her drive it at night. She did great and really enjoyed the car as a whole. Yeah, those aren't really difficult or too awkward cars to drive. Honestly, the most unusual thing about it is a bench seat. Other than that, it drives pretty much like another car or any other car. The seating position's a little, newer cars, you kind of tuck into them a little more in a lot of cases. So. Oh, well. Go ahead.
It says, did you know that Art Bell had an LS1 Trans Am? I did not know that. Maybe I did. I don't know if he had an LS. I don't know about the LS1. It seems to me I knew he had a Trans Am.
I'm not gonna lie. It would be cool if they had a moon base and they actually started sending people up there and doing sciencey stuff. That would be neat.
The moon is a really harsh environment. It's
Yeah.
like cut glass that you got to walk on and everything, so you can't get it in you in your work or your living area. You get it in the seals and everything leaks. It's just a tremendous mess to deal with. And
Mm-hmm.
then, yeah, I mean, that's not going to be an easy thing.
No.
I mean,
Basically, have to bring everything that you need from here to take there, and then stay inside the whole time. So
I'm
it's
not
kind
saying
of
we
like
should.
voluntary isolation. I don't.
I'm not saying we shouldn't do it. I'm just saying it's going to be
Yeah.
a tremendous effort.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to going there for the longest humans ever on the moon was what, 3 days? That was a big deal.
I mean, we've learned a lot since then.
One of my favorite pictures is an astronaut standing there. What was his name? Apollo 17 guy. I can't think of his name. Somebody will know it. He was standing there and just filthy dirty after the third EVA inside the LEM before they took off. And it's like, man. And everybody said the same thing. Is it smelled like burnt gunpowder? What is this Barracuda from AP6 Chrysler? Australia used diamondite, whatever that word is, acrylic-based enamel. I think it was a Dulux product. See, I remember acrylic enamel. I remember that stuff being around a lot, but I don't know when AP6 was. I don't know what year that is. There was a stripping lacquer paint is the seventh level of hell. It turns to slime with the heat of the sander. And I painted a lot with lacquer because it was simple and it was cheap. But now I want to mess with this water-based stuff I've been doing. This house is 1965.
Oh, that they switched to the diamondite.
Finishes. I did have that girl drive my Impala months ago. She liked driving the Scamp more. Smaller made her more comfortable. She drives a 2017 Prius.
The newer Priuses are the newer Prius are a little bigger, aren't they? Are they still super tiny cars, or are they mid-size? A more moderate-sized car now. They're not like the smallest cars on the road anymore, are they? Ah.
No, they never were, I don't think. The Prius, the only Prius I ever really drove. When did I fly there? In 23 to Oregon? 2023. Because I think, yeah, you were already here. No, because I drove back that time. God. I flew there because I was working there in Oregon, you remember. And, but I spent a lot of time here. And I was there like for 3 or 4 weeks. And I had a brand new Prius. So whatever year that was, 2023. And it had a weird little funny gear shift thing, and the instruments were all off in the middle, and this whole dash was white, and it was like I could hardly drive in the daytime because the sun would just light up that white dash. I didn't like that. I don't know. I can't imagine why they did that white. But the car, it was weird. Everything about it was weird. But after a day or so of driving it, I kind of got used to it, and then it didn't feel weird anymore. I just drove it. It was. I had it like for 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe, and then I drove it back to the airport, filled it up with gas, and it took like $3 worth of gas. Really? That's it? And turned it in. It didn't use much fuel.
Olive makes some miracle that we're gonna do a moonshot. She says planting a space station on the ground is not going to be used for that equipment. It's not. Well, I didn't say it was what they were doing now. I just meant in general it would be kind. I think that it would be kind of cool to have a space station on the moon. We need to hear about. I don't know if it's a good use of monies or. But I don't know. The smart sciencey people, you have to give them smart sciencey things to do, or else then they just make bombs.
Simon watched Groundhog Day 2
Yeah.
days ago.
The C-10 that goes off the cliff has no tail shaft. It was probably flung off the cliff with a catapult. Well, yeah, that's what you do in movies. And
Now they just do what they are.
that is right. They don't even bother to.
The truck would sit still and they'd suck the clip out from it.
Yeah. Tanner says her Prius is still pretty small, but it's comfortable.
Yeah, I didn't have any objection to driving it. I mean, it was weird, and there's no reason for the car to be that weird. But I think it's people that like that car, like the weirdness. But you can get a Toyota that's basic same stuff. It's not a Prius. It's a what do they call? What's a mid-sized Toyota? I forget the name. But you can get those that are a hybrid, and they're same thing. So you don't have to have the weirdness. But the weirdness was okay after I got used to it. Barry Cooter says, did you know that 67 or 68 Bill Jenkins drag race Camaro is one of the Penske Sunoco Trans Am cars been acid dipped? I did not know that. Oh, that high lunar orbit swing has everything to do with if they were going to assemble the lunar gateway. Oh, so they're doing that, but they're not going to do that. That's
I don't care if it's useful. Like, I really don't think sending the people to Mars is useful. So, is any of it useful? No. It's just science. It's not use. Come on. Useful. They're talking about paint. Bear Rose says the 70 Caddy was factory lacquer and took a box of pads per fender, and you could only work in small areas to keep it from warping. That sounds like a horrible thing.
Because when you're trying to do the DA, it heats up and warps it. Yeah, I've done that before. Stray bullet, a military base on the moon might be useful. Let's hope
that sounds like a great idea. We could send everybody up there. We could send all the politicians up there so they're safe in case of war. And we could send all the military up there so they're safe in case of war. We'll just send everybody up there. That sounds a great idea. They could stay up there where it's nice and warlike, and they can militarize up there. Yep. And we promise to send them food and oxygen and supplies and water and stuff.
Mexican Spec wants to use a stripper. Just use a stripper. And he makes them use the liquid, not the woman.
I don't know. I guess whatever you're into is fine.
Yeah, Ford rules. You're right. The Camry. Yeah, I got a Camry. Basically the same thing as a
Toyota.
Yeah.
Nissan.
No, what's it called? I can't ever think of names.
Oh.
She's gonna just like every word she can think of now. No, hybrid.
Hybrid.
Yeah.
That's
Talos says Madison Gray code 8646. They even know what codes they were.
Boy, these tires are.
You can start telling me how bad my tires are.
These look real bad.
You know, one thing about Kim, she starts looking at my tires and deciding how bad they are. Next thing I know, I have new tires.
They're bad. They're the ones that came
off. She buys me tires.
They came off of my Dart. They were bad then. Now they've been sitting around for 2 years. And guess what? They can get better. Just as bad or worse. The thing is, too, they have the little nubs on them still. They got no miles on them. They're just old. Oh, look at the wobble in this sidewall. These are real bad. It is sitting around in the shop. Put tires on a car and then never drive it.
That's what it says. It says mid-sized Corolla. The full-size car is a Camry. Yeah, I couldn't remember which is which. But I know I've driven the Camrys, and I didn't really like the Camrys that much. They were also, I don't know. I've been driving a Mazda, which I really like, and I've been driving some Nissans. what's the big Nissan? Not the big one, but the almost big one.
Maxima.
The Maxima is the big one.
Yeah,
I've been driving the Maxima too, but I really liked all those cars. And when I drove the Camry, I didn't like it as much. I don't know why. Caneo. Oh, did you ever watch television? Gee.
No. We don't watch the television. When's the last time you had the television on?
I turned it on. I turned it on about a month ago and watched part of Leave It to Beaver in the morning. But mostly I was just checking the television to make sure it still worked.
Still worked.
Yeah, I have a 40-inch TV up on my wall, up above everything else. So if I'm laying in bed, I can see it. Man, I just haven't had it on. It's pretty much not very useful. Carlos says, I almost painted my ute that color, black with black vinyl roof. Then for some silly reason opted for the blue.
I like the blue.
The blue looks good.
The blue
looks like an original color. Looks like an original color.
Yep. It suits it. It's better in the blue too.
Nice color, VC Regal. But I'd seen black VC V8 and I thought it looked great, so I changed it to black. It says you got to paint the ute with house of color candies. Oh my God, you can spend a fortune on that. Yeah, Mark Sylvia, you're right. The Altima. No, I've used house of color paints a lot and done some really crazy paint jobs, like the big heavy flakes and stuff and candy paints, all this stuff. And man, you can spend a fortune. And don't make a mistake. But yeah, I've done it and had some real good, like what would you call it? Really crazy paint jobs. And then of course, trying to sell a car like that, good luck. Nobody wants it because it's too weird. But I've done it. Lost my ass on it. You can't do no more. Well, we've been here 3 hours. And so you've had it. You've had it.
Us guys, I'm hurting. I was hurting an hour or two ago. I'm done.
She's had it. She had a rough day today.
Like,
and then you
working.
Then you went to 2 events.
Yeah.
So was the first event okay?
Yeah, I had a friend pass away, and I had to go to like what's it called, a wake?
A wake, yeah.
I guess that's what it's called. It wasn't really that, but it wasn't bad. It was okay. It was just that's too many hours of me doing, and I did stuff this afternoon. It was too much. I'm whooped. It hurts, guys. If you want to keep going, I cannot.
No, I'm gonna wrap it up here.
I'm
quickly.
cleaning just because it hurts too much to just sit still.
There was a guy in Dallas's live last night that was really wanting like a Comet Maverick kind of car, a good one, looking for a rust-free one, and I suggested Mexican Spec, but maybe he'll show up tomorrow on your live. I hope so. I told him to come in here, you'd be here, but he didn't. So yeah, Slimo's saying adios amigos. And yeah, we're gonna
thank you everybody for being here. You've made it to the end. I'm awarding you all an additional 3 points. You better be keeping track of your points. Yeah, my friend, they went well, and that's the best we can hope for. So, thank you for your condolences, and it's all right. We go to those types of things for the people who are still here. So, and yeah.
Bravo, hope you're doing well.
Everybody take care of yourself and the people you love, and we will be back on Saturday after you've watched Mexican Spec. Mexican Spec is moving, so be aware of the new time if you weren't here earlier.
Gibson Stoll's here. Hey, thanks for sticking around.
And yeah, they're 2 hours later.
And we didn't do any CB things, but we will come back. We'll be here Saturday night, and we'll do at some point. There's CB stuff. There's going to be a CB radio in this car.
Maybe between now and then we can get the CB antenna.
We get the CB radio antenna, and we got the we got to bring the mic and the radio down here to test it because it's new. So yeah, we got that stuff to do too. So sorry we didn't do that tonight. We got